Good morning, sunshines. Hey. Oh man, I miss just going live. I love doing my podcast. I love it. I love it. I love it. But just like sitting here live, wondering what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes, not having any idea. That's fun, you know? Okay, maybe that's a lie. Anywho, I mean about that, like not knowing what's gonna happen in the next 2 minutes. I'm just gonna be doing a real quick breast cancer update because I've got the questions. I've got questions from y'all and I've got a few more answers. So short and sweet, kind of tell you guys what's going on. And I want to just start off by saying thank you. Flip, dip, and thank you for all of your guys' messages, all of your comments, all of your prayers, all of your support. It has just been obviously like a flood of kindness, which our world just really needs right now. And you guys see me talking a lot about kindness and compassion, and it just blows my mind how people can walk through the world without it because it's just so important. Okay, so here's what's going on. And kind of just clue you into what I think's going on, but it's moving parts. It's continuously moving parts. And that's the one thing that I've learned really meeting with every single doctor, that breast cancer is a journey. Like you get your roadmap, but then like, is that roadmap really your roadmap? Because if this, then this. It's like like those mystery stories where like pick option A, B, or C, and it like drives you in a full different direction. But you just get to be with that, be patient with that, be loving with that. And it's a great lesson in the fact that we don't have control of everything. So I get to be with that piece of it. Right now, where we're at is our family, like God has just set us up in a way. Can I just start off by saying this? Like in such an incredible way where he has, like, we were supposed to do our Mexico trip at the end of October or in November for our husband's birthdays. And it just so happened there was all this stuff going on and we couldn't do it. And then the flights and blah, blah, blah. And it's this next week that we get to go. And it fits in perfectly with my surgical and my care scheduling. And I've gotten permission and the go ahead from every single doctor. I've asked a million different questions, but they're like, no, go have this time, which is wild because we went to Mexico the week before Witten got diagnosed with his cancer and just had this time with the family to celebrate. Although his trip was much more difficult because he was much more sick. We're just going to go out there. I'm going to take the girls out for one last ride. We're doing that next week. And that is such a blessing, not to mention the trip I got to go with John Carroll, our first trip like ever, just the two of us. I did not think that would happen, but stars aligned and God was just like, hey, I know you're about to battle. I know you're about to go in, but here's some really cool things for you just to relax and enjoy and embrace life until we get to that point. So that's what's happening first. My first surgery is scheduled on October 2nd. So the weekend we get home, we're going to decorate for Christmas. This is important for you guys to know because this is the reality of what it looks like trying to plan for all things. And I think it's just a little bit entertaining because the fact is if I don't do it then, I'm not going to be able to really participate in Christmas decorating. And if you guys know anything about Callie Carroll, you know that I decorate for Christmas November 1st and it's my favorite thing and I freaking absolutely love it. But we're not going to be able to because I will have already had my double mastectomy. I'm not going to be able to like do those things then. So we're decorating for Christmas at the end, right before October. It's going to be great. We're going to have Christmas for a while through the season of healing. How special is that? Like just bring the spirit in closer. Then I'll have my first lymph node biopsy on October 2nd. What they do is they put in two different dyes into the tumor, and then they watch where the dyes go, which lymph nodes. So you have this centinoid like full system, like this, like it kind of looks like a tree going down your whole arms, and it's going to see which lymph nodes the dye goes to, and then those lymph nodes are going to be the ones they take out, and they'll test to make sure that there is no tracing of cancer in those, because if there is, that will change my course of my course of treatment. I'll have radiation. I won't have the reconstruction right away. She said, let's not even talk about it until we get there because that's a full another choose your own adventure path. So let's just assume that's not going to happen, but that will be the first thing. Will be on October 2nd. That's just an in and out surgery, like a couple days recovery. She says, that's going to be great. Don't even worry about it. Oh, wrong side. Nope, that's it. That's the side. We're going to go in. We're going to take some of those. Then 1 week later, we're going to do Witten John scans. So he has his rescans for his cancer in the beginning of October. So I'll be like healed enough to be able to hold him while he gets all of his different stuff because he really likes mommy during his scans, which, as you guys may know if you watch me as well, pretty traumatic experience because when he goes NPO with his diabetes insipidus, it is a complicated thing, but we do it. we do it. We've done it multiple times now, and we're going to do it again. And I get a little bit less nervous. Maybe, maybe not each time. I'm not sure. Like, I'm more nervous for that than I am for my own surgery. So we'll do that 1 week after I take my lymph biopsy. We'll do my son's cancer MRI scans. Then that weekend, we get to have Whit and John's birthday party multiple weeks early because I won't be able to do his birthday party. So we're just going to cram in a birthday party and celebrate that he's going to be 5 years old, which is just so, so freaking cool. And right after his birthday party, as of right now, I'm scheduled to do a double mastectomy on October 13th. That might change. I still have to meet with my surgeon again this week to make sure I feel very comfortable. And if we need to move anything around, then we will. And that's just the way it is. They try to get you in within 45 days after your diagnosis. So they're really trying to rush. I'm like an urgent case. So they're trying to rush to make sure that they get me in there. But I do have to make sure that I feel comfortable with my care first. So that's going to be, should be on October 13th, sorry. Also, that's the week my kids don't have school. It's winter break, so they'll be home all week long. It's just perfect timing. And also, it's my daughter's homecoming weekend for her senior year of college that she was so excited about, that we like bought the tent for and we're doing all the things for. And I think maybe all my family's doing all the things for while I'm sitting at home, because I don't know if I can 6 days later reasonably like be walking around CSU campus like not being touched. Y'all, if you've had this, you'll tell me. You'll be like, Cal, yes or no, would you be able to go? Because I still have to go talk to my doctor again about this. Okay, so that's what that week looks like. The surgery, let's just talk about that for a second, because honestly, that's probably been the most confusing or complicated thing for me so far, because when I walked in there, I did not know that I was going to have 90,000 options. And not a lot of, from the surgeon that I met with, not a lot of like, this is what I would do. I'm looking at you, looking at your frame. This is what I would do. Not a lot of that. At the end, finally, I was like, I need to know what you would do. You're the professional. I've never wanted breast reconstruction. I'm not a boob person. I'm not like, this is not my gig. I've never researched them. I've never looked at them. I don't know what under the muscle versus over the muscle versus, teardrop versus round versus silicone versus saline. I don't know what any of that means. I've never talked boobs. So I was like going in like a third grader talking about breast reconstruction. So he had so much to explain, which is why we're going to meet again this week. But I think what we're doing, which you guys are like, I don't care, but some of you guys do care because you've had breast cancer or breast reconstruction and you know the terms. I think we're going to go under the muscle because I have fed 4 babies so that it's like not as stretchy. And I'm going to do the expanders instead of an immediate implant, because I don't want it just like done and then it's just done and I don't know if I got what I want or whatever. So they do that. It's like about a 9-month process where they go through and they just try to figure out how to get your body back to normal as best as possible. I don't know why, like that's just one of the things I'm like kind of eked out about more so than anything, which is why I need to talk to my surgeon again one more time. After that surgery, it'll take me, it says about 4 weeks of not using your arms, like not lifting them. From my understanding, from what other people talk about, like your husband kind of just plops you in and out of bed because you can't really use your core or your chest muscles or at all. So that's going to be a great lesson for me in inactivity and patience and asking for help. I will be calling in troops at that time. So if you've been like, Callie, how can I help? What can I do? During like mid-October through mid-November, if you've got kids or you're in my troop of people with kids, I'm going to be like, where can my kids go? Can they play with anybody else? Just do kids want to come over and play at my house? And I don't want to entertain guests. That's the thing, right? I was talking to one of my friends, like, I don't want people to be like, hey, I'll come over and like hang out. I'm not going to feel like being like chatty and like, I don't think like hanging out. Like if you want to come over and support, I'll just go lay down and recover and you can, you can help with the kids. Does that sound bad? I think it sounds right. So during that time, John will be at home. He'll be taking care of me, but it's more like keeping my highly active children entertained. And yeah, I don't know, like food stuff. Maybe I'll probably just make soup to prep for it because people have asked me about that. Maybe we'll like receive some support from that. I have started getting, this is just a side note, and tell me what you guys think of this idea. I started getting like some different cards and flowers and awesome things. And you guys are seriously, you're freaking unbelievable. And we have this rock garden where we paint rocks, like anything like it's like a turtle and a sunshine and the word love and motivation and a Bible quote and like all sorts of stuff. And I was thinking that if people were like, what could I do for Cal? Like if you wanted to paint a rock and then put it in a rock garden, that would be cool. Wouldn't it be cool to have all of these like positively infused, loving, full of prayers, like rock garden that's just like around that represents healing and life? Not all like breast cancer ribbons. There might be some of those, but like fun. Like just having your kids paint a cat on a rock would be fun. Okay. Anyways, that was a side note. So during that time, that's where I'll be like looking for support or receiving support or allowing myself to humbly, receive, because that's hard for some people to do. And then I'll know, probably they'll do something called an ONC score. So once they take the tumor, I have a video about what the double mastectomy looks like. I think it's funny. I don't know if it should be funny, but it's like seems very spot on. It has avocados in it. It's great. So I'll share about that. But like once they scrape everything out, they hollow me out, they fill me back up. It's going to take about 9 months to like finish that process. Also, they're going to send the tumor in for something called it's like an onc type, I think. And it will give us a score. So right now, the tumor, they call it a grade B because of where I'm at. There's A, B, and C. There's three. So, or two. No, A, B, it's a B. So it's right in the middle. Not bad, not great, nothing. Like it's right in the middle. Once they take the tumor out, they send it, they do testing. It takes 2 weeks. And that's when I'll get what stage of cancer I am in. And then I will know whether or not I will have chemotherapy at that point. So I won't even know if there's chemo until the beginning, like sometime in the beginning of November. So like I said, there's a lot of unknown, there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of faith, there's a lot of, to me, the primary thing is just I don't even want to say responsibility of faith, because it's not a responsibility, it's a right. Like it's a choice that I get to live in, is to be in the faith of what's going to happen next. So that's where I'm at. That's the whole thing. Physically, I'm feeling pretty dang good. I've started eating a little bit more. I think I wasn't eating for a couple weeks just out of nerves or not eating enough. So I started eating more. That's wonderful. And I am getting to the gym. This is my last week really at the gym, because then we'll be in Mexico and I have like one other day. So I'm just taking advantage of taking care of myself. And then next week I'll just take advantage of that full, like just bringing in the joy and being, which is that was not an easy choice to make. Some people are like, yeah, of course. But like, you have to make the mental decision. I'm not going to sit around and mope. Like I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy, not because I think I'm not going to be here any longer, but I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy, because that's what life's about. And I get to go and enjoy before I start this process, which will be a full, like at minimum 9 months of healing, So it's like, why not just go have this time, and be with friends and family. Mentally, I'm feeling pretty good. Like I don't walk around anymore thinking like, wow, I'm walking around with cancer, which in the beginning I did. Like I was down in Boulder and I'm just like, this is so weird. Like I'm just meandering about downtown Boulder with cancer, and everybody else is kind of just doing life, probably not having cancer, but I bet some of them did. And when I went to San Diego, I didn't think any of that. I was just like, saying continuous gratitude for my health, for the cleaning and clearing of my body. I'm doing so much visualization of, anything that's negatively serving my body to be removed, the cancer, just anything, and just really praying for and bringing in the complete healing of my entire body, my entire being. And really just focusing on being with God being in me. I talk a lot about like the light and the love and his energy that's in me, and that energy that I get to pour into other people. I have really been focusing on pouring into other people and sharing. I've gotten a lot of messages back from others, like about how it's supporting them just to know what I'm going through, whether they're going through this journey or a different one. It makes them feel seen and heard. So that's really, again, back to like the mission that I'm trying to figure out of how to support those who are watching my journey, realize that even through adversity, we get to choose faith, joy, and perspective. And sometimes like joy is not like, it's not like elated joy. It's just like a sense of peace. Peace in the unknown is really difficult to do. So speaking into that, being with that, and doing my best to help others pull that into their own lives and let go of the little things. And I know they might seem big to you, but the things that don't matter that much that we're getting worked up over. And I just recently did a post, and I'm going to say this, like my breast cancer, it's a little thing. It's a little thing in the grand scheme of all the things. It's a very little thing. It's something that I get to go through of a journey, and people don't like when the breast cancer groups, when you call it a journey, but it is a journey. This is the chapter, a chapter, if you want to call it that. It's a chapter that I get to grow through over the next year. And there are people out there that don't get to grow through anything. They don't have that option to fight. They don't have the option to grow through something. They don't have the option to still continue, you know, this journey, the next chapter of life. So this is little what I'm doing, and it's a big fight for me, but I'm one small little person. And I just want to recognize and acknowledge that my heart can do both. I can be both. I can be this and that. I can be in my own fight and my battle and really be with myself on this journey. And I can also acknowledge that it's okay. And I pray for myself, but man, I am praying for others more than I'm praying for myself. I'm praying for the kindness of humans. I'm praying for people to just show up with more love in their hearts. I pray consistently the Ho'oponopono prayer, which we're doing Zero Limits for our book club next week. If you guys haven't read it yet, it's a Hawaiian ritual, Hawaiian prayer where you say, "I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you." And I do this all day long as I pass people that I've never met, just praying for joy and faith and connection in their lives. So, emotionally, I feel like I'm doing as well as I can be. That's what I'm doing, as well as I can be. So that's my update for today. Didn't know it was going to be a 16-minute update. Thought it was going to be a 6-minute update. But here's what happens. I just start talking, and I love you guys, and I love doing Good Morning Sunshines and talking to y'all live. So if you haven't done this before, I'm doing not butterfly. I mean, you can still do the butterflies. Whit and John was 3 butterflies. The 3 represents this repetition and this bringing this light and love in the world. I'm doing sunflower. So you have that little sunflower emoji on your thing. You just press sunflower, 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 because sunflowers, they follow the sun, they follow the light. And I am really following the light. I'm following the sun. I'm following my God. And I'm asking for that light and energy to be poured into me so I can be like a prism, not a prison, a prism, and pour light out into others. Like not pour, like just like push, like radiate light into others. That's what I'm running after. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go do some bar. No, not bar today. I'm gonna go do some Pilates with Adriana. Pilates. Work my whole system, my core, before I can't work my core anymore. So I gotta go, but I love you all, and thank you for being here again on my journey. And we'll talk to you guys. I'll keep you in the loop. I'll let you know how the lymph nodes come out when they come out, and I'll post my avocado. There's the 3 sunflowers. I'll post my avocado video maybe today. Okay, love you guys.